A married man who is unsatisfied with his wife goes inside the room of his beautiful maid. He sees his maid awake, scrolling on her phone. He immediately approaches her and begins to touch and sniff her. When he can't get enough of her, he lets her drink some wine and removes the blanket. He goes in front of her and stands. The maid removes her top in front of him and gives his second head a CPR. With much pleasure, he raises his hand like a child wanting some ice cream. A few months ago, a beautiful and young protagonist, Daisy, woke up early in the morning. Meanwhile, a woman named Martha went to Daisy's dormitory. She knocked on the door and looked for Daisy. One of Daisy's dorm mates, Gina, opened the door and told her that Daisy was in the shower upstairs. Martha then told her to inform Daisy afterwards and meet her at the coffee shop. A few moments later, Daisy met with Martha in the coffee shop. Martha went straight to the point and informed her that she was hired as a housemaid. Hearing the good news, Daisy smiled in happiness. A few days later, Daisy migrated with her luggage to a mansion where she would work. Upon arriving inside, she encountered one of her bosses, Roxanne, who was currently pregnant with twins. From the start, Roxanne took a liking to Daisy, so she doubled her salary right away. Afterwards, Martha briefed her about her work and brought Daisy her uniform. The following day, Daisy and Martha met her boss daughter, Nami, who was an elementary student. Daisy greeted her and said that she would be her new nanny. Daisy then proceeds to escort Nami to her room. The child showed uneasiness and distance at first. Daisy tried to win her by charm, and little by little, Nami smiled. While eating, Roxanne asked her daughter about her new nanny. Nami responded that her nanny liked her very much because of how she looked at her. After they ate, the two nannies ate their leftovers. While the two were brushing their teeth, William, the master of the house, arrived. His daughter welcomed him home and told him about her new nanny before she left. Daisy greeted him as well and introduced herself to him. After seeing her, William went upstairs to see his pregnant wife. Daisy went after him upstairs and delivered the wine he asked for. Roxanne informed her husband that Daisy majored in early childhood development in college but dropped out. William was skeptical at first if she could manage to take care of their kids properly. However, his mind changed when he saw his wife praising Daisy. When Daisy returned to her room, Nami asked her to open the door so that she could see her. The following day, the two nannies prepared food for their employers. Martha ordered Daisy to bring food to William, who was playing Beethoven on the piano. Daisy asked where William was, and Martha told her to follow the piano sounds. Later on, William bid farewell to them as he left for work. Daisy proceeded to do her nanny duties. She assisted Roxanne in her bath, and she also did pedicures for her. After her duties with Roxanne, she went to clean the bathtub. With care, Daisy meticulously rubbed every dirty area in the bathtub. William returns home and shares drink with his wife. While his wife is putting on makeup, he checks on their bathtub and sees Daisy still cleaning. He caught her up cleaning the bathtub, unintentionally seductive. William looks at Daisy's body and legs, obviously enticed and tempted as he sips some fine wine. The following day, as Daisy drives, Roxanne jokingly mentions that she would fire their driver, Mario, claiming Daisy could handle the job. She adds that if she knew how to fire a gun and perform self-defense, she would dismiss Pijo, their bodyguard, as well. Flattered, Daisy smiles back at the compliments. While driving, she glances at William through the rearview mirror. After a lengthy drive, they reach their vacation destination. Later that evening, the family decides to swim in their pool. Roxanne instructs her daughter to swim without worry, mentioning the pool is heated. Nami agrees, so Daisy is tasked with looking after her. Wearing her swimsuit, partially covered with a cloth, she looks at William with a plan in her mind of seducing him. William tries to divert his eyes, but he cannot resist the hot body Daisy has, so he steals several glances at her. After Nami and Daisy, the couple swims a bit as well and leaves after. When they left, Daisy removes the cloth and immerses in the pool. She swims and plays around like a little child. Meanwhile, in their room, Roxanne rides William's St. George. While Roxanne is sharpening William's pencil, she tells him that she wants to have a natural delivery because she plans to have 6 children in total. William tells her that 3 is enough for him, but Roxanne insists to have 6 since they are rich. While in action, her sharpener gets hurt and Roxanne tells William that she experiences pain. They stopped and William gets frustrated because he is still not satisfied. His wife takes a rest and William goes outside the room while bringing a bottle of wine with him. He goes straight to Daisy's room, who is still awake. He casually enters her room and hands her a glass of wine. Daisy drinks it as well. During William's visit, no words are spoken. He removes the blanket from Daisy and reveals that she is only wearing underwear. Unsatisfied with his wife, William starts to touch Daisy and sniff her. Without any words, Daisy starts to remove her top as the two passionately stares at each other. He raises his hand in pleasure when Daisy slurps his ice cream. Tomorrow morning, the family goes outside again. While William is driving, Daisy looks at him with desire. Nami looks at Daisy and senses something off about her. When they return home, Roxanne calls Daisy and thanks her for what she is doing for her family. Afterward, Daisy immediately checks her appearance and fixes herself. She then proceeds to deliver wine to the family. While she is about to pour the wine into their glasses, her hand and William's touch. While she is helping Roxanne stretch, William passes by. The two notice each other and stare at each other with passion. At night, she continues her job by reading Nami a children's book. While she is telling her a story, Nami falls asleep. William returns home and the two nannies welcome him. William hands Martha a letter and congratulates her son. During midnight, William goes outside their room again with a bottle of wine in his hand. He visits his sleeping daughter first to check if she is asleep. He kisses her on the cheek before he leaves. Afterward, he goes straight to Daisy's room where she is sleeping naked. He offers her a drink, which she accepts. Martha awakens from her sleep and decides to go upstairs. She learns that William is having a hot yoga session with Daisy. However, her child has recently been promoted with William's help, so she turns a blind eye. When William is about to hit the home run, Daisy tells him that she is scared, but he tells her not to be. Next morning, Martha orders Daisy to bring William food again. She goes near William as he plays the piano. He then tells her to get the salary in check. In Roxanne's bedroom, she massages her belly and talks with the twins. Martha sees what she is doing and gets annoyed by how sneaky Daisy is. While in the bathroom, Martha talks with Daisy and tells her about how long she is serving the family. She also asks Daisy if she has a boyfriend, to which Daisy responds that she has none, thinking it's only a waste of time. A few hours later, Martha and Esther, Roxanne's mother, talk about how perverted William is. Esther turns the blame to Martha for choosing a pretty housemaid. She then tells Esther that she suspects that Daisy is pregnant. She informs Esther that Daisy might not know since it's her first experience being a virgin. Esther calls her stupid rather than innocent because she spread her legs to William. Martha tells Esther that she should also blame her daughter since she is the one who likes Daisy very much. Esther agrees and says that she is stupid like Daisy. Meanwhile, Daisy meets with Gina. She tells her everything that happened and Gina gets angry with her out of concern. She reasons with her and hands her the check she received from him. Gina sees the amount and gets shocked by how huge it is. They continue to walk until they reach the grave of Daisy's parents. A few days later, Daisy returns to the mansion. Since Esther is angry with her, she orders Daisy to wax everything, including the chandeliers. While cleaning, Esther and Roxanne accidentally push her off the steel stairs. Daisy manages to hang on to the chandelier. Unfortunately, she loses strength and falls. She gets confined to a hospital where the doctor informs Martha that she only suffered mild concussion. At home, Esther finally reveals to Roxanne that Daisy is pregnant with William's baby. Roxanne is in disbelief that William and Daisy betrayed her. Esther receives a call from Martha who reports about the doctor's findings. The doctor does not include anything about Daisy's pregnancy, but still, Esther is skeptical. Roxanne, still in disbelief, tells her mother to stop, but Esther stubbornly pushes her plans. A few hours later, Martha returns to Daisy and brings her flowers and a high amount check. When she arrives back home, she catches up with Esther and Roxanne fighting over the cheating rumors. She still believes William and Daisy are innocent, so she reprimands both her mother and Martha. Martha apologizes to her and promises that it will not happen again. Shortly after, William returns home and greets his mother-in-law, who pretends to know nothing. Later on, Martha helps William choose his suit for a business meeting and informs him about Daisy. She lies about her condition and tells him that she got a high fever. Roxanne, annoyed at her, reprimands her for taking too long and tells her that she should resign because she is getting old. Martha gets drunk in her room and vents out all her frustrations and anger as she curses at Roxanne and the rich. Meanwhile, Daisy finds out that she is pregnant. The nurse informs her that they did not notice at first. Daisy, with such a revelation, gets covered with fear and anxiety. Later on, her friend visits her, finds out that Daisy is pregnant, and advises her to resign and leave the mansion. Gina comforts her and tells her that she will help her raise the baby. As time goes by, Esther convinces Roxanne to believe the truth. Roxanne gets furious and angry with Daisy, saying mockery and insults to her. Daisy returns to the mansion while Gina assists her. Daisy's friend then reminds her to take the vitamins for her baby. While doing so, Martha and Esther enter her room, pretending to show that they care for Daisy. At midnight, Roxanne, with a golf club in hand, goes to Daisy's room. In anger, she attempts to smash her head but gets stopped when she sees Martha looking at her. The next morning, Daisy tells Martha that she does not feel comfortable in the house anymore. In concern for Daisy's life, Martha tells her to resign and leave the mansion. Daisy then goes to Roxanne and tells her that she will be resigning because she can't handle the work anymore. Roxanne immediately slaps her left and right. She bursts out in anger and gets straight to the point. Esther asks her for a trade, her unborn child, in exchange for money. She slaps her as well and demands her to abort the baby as soon as possible. While contemplating in her room, Martha tells her to do what they are demanding and get lost. However, if she wants to keep the baby, she should not let them treat her that way. Martha, wanting revenge, provokes Daisy to make a plan to fight back. While drinking milk, Nami comes to her and tells her that her grandmother intentionally pushed her off the ladder. Nami tells Daisy that she does not want anything bad to happen to her because she is a good person. While no one is home, Roxanne sneaks into Daisy's room and powders medicine for abortion. She puts it in the milk jar of Daisy so she will intake it unknowingly. A few hours later, Daisy drinks milk and packs her things. Nami catches her up and asks her why she is packing up her things. She then tells her that she will be leaving because she will become a mom soon. The whole family goes to the hospital because Roxanne is about to deliver her baby while Daisy and Martha are left behind. Moments later, William arrives at the hospital and sees his twins. Meanwhile, in the mansion, Daisy tells Martha that she will be keeping the baby. Martha immediately calls Esther and informs her about Daisy's decision. Going back to the mansion, Daisy suddenly screams in pain as she holds her stomach. William returns home first. He goes upstairs towards their room. He notices someone is inside the bathtub. He opens the curtains and sees Daisy inside. Daisy immerses in the tub full of bubbles while William gazes at her figure. Suddenly, Daisy reveals to him that she is pregnant and Esther offered her $3 million in exchange for aborting the baby. She also tells him that she wants to keep the baby. William gets frozen at her confession. Martha suddenly enters the scene and reprimands Daisy to get out of the tub. However, she acts like crazy and goes wild in the tub. Afterwards, William talks with her and tells her that he decided to keep the baby. Later on, Daisy is picked up by an ambulance because her stomach pain is not fading. William then goes to his mother-in-law and confronts her. He tells her that he found out that they snuck in a powder of Cytotec medicine which is used to abort a baby. He then asks her if she is the culprit, but she denies. When William asks if it's her daughter, Esther confesses that she is the one who did it. A shocking revelation comes out of William's mouth when he tells Esther that he knows that the twins are not his biological children. He adds that despite they are not his children, he will raise them as his own. Meanwhile, Martha reveals to Daisy that Roxanne is the one who put the abortion pills in her milk. She tells her more provoking words in order to anger Daisy. Daisy realizes that Martha could have told her about what Roxanne did, so she slaps Martha. Martha hands her a check that has an amount of 3 million pesos. Daisy crumples the check and tells Martha that she will take revenge. Where Martha provokes her to do so, Daisy returns back to her dormitory devastated. Gina tries to comfort her and gives advice on things she must do. She shrugs off all of Gina's advice and gets fired up when she remembers Martha's words. She goes outside of her house with plans in her mind. She meets with Martha in front of the mansion while holding a lighter. She sneaks inside the house. When she senses someone is about to enter the room, she hides in the wardrobe. She passes by and goes to the twins. While holding the baby, William spots her. He immediately asks the baby back. Daisy acts like crazy and says strange words. When she approaches near him, he suddenly snatches one of the babies from her. Daisy goes to the other baby and picks the other one. William begs to return the baby, but Daisy plays a prank on him. Eventually, Daisy hands out to William the babies. William tells her to get out of his sight. William then calls out his wife and tells her about Daisy. The whole family immediately goes into the living room. Esther tells them that she feels something bad will happen, so she calls the police. She tells her daughter to call for their bodyguards. Roxanne then orders Martha to cast out Daisy. However, Martha tells her back that she will not do what she orders because she resigns. They try to gaslight her, but Martha is full of anger against them, so she defies all of their orders. She then turns the tables when she confesses what she feels about their bad treatment to her. She tells them straight to the point that they are all animals and shameless people. After she tells them these words, they spit in their house. Nami sees Daisy and asks her about her baby, but Daisy tells her that her baby is gone. When she is about to tell her what William did to her, Roxanne stops her from doing so. However, Daisy continues to expose their shamelessness. At the end, Daisy leaves a shock in their faces when she jumps from the second floor as she hangs in the chandelier. Daisy lights herself with a lighter and burns herself while hanging, leaving a horrific scene before their eyes. In the final scene of the movie, the decorations at Nami's birthday party are in shatters. The entire family acts as if nothing happened and celebrates Nami's birthday while drunk.